and people want to say this stuff that she's ready for me to go, because I love that stuff. Okay, my name is Pamela Berson. I'm the mobile engineering manager at Cedar City here in Chicago. I have my Twitter handle up there because it was requested, but the best place to find me is actually on the Chicago Tech Slack or on the Chicago Tech University Slack, because I'm on Slack. As it says, I'm a mobile engineering manager. I started off as an iOS developer, and I switched to Android about a year and a half ago. True story, that does happen. People change from iOS to Android. And about 6 months ago, I became the engineering manager for our mobile team. So that means I contribute code, because I'm one of our 2 Android developers. It means I do a lot of product planning and code reviews, things like that. It means I do sort of growth and development for the people who are on my team. And it means I do hiring. We are looking for an iOS developer at the moment, so if you know anyone who has a burning desire to come and work with an amazing team, but I have to say, with regard to being a mobile engineering manager, this was not the plan. If you had told me 15 years ago that I would be standing in front of a room explaining how I became an iOS developer or an Android developer or in charge of iOS and Android developers, I would have laughed and laughed and laughed a lot. I was not a computer person. I thought that there was a kind of person who was a computer person, and I didn't really know what that was, but I wasn't that, right? I like books. I read a lot. I went to university, I studied liberal arts. I read a lot, and then I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I graduated, and you're supposed to know what you want to do when you graduate. So I went to graduate school, because that's what you do when you don't know what you want to do, right? So I did a PhD in neuroscience, which was awesome. Neuroscience is amazing. I loved it. Except that being an academic turned out to kind of suck for me personally. I spent a lot of time trying to write grant proposals that people would fund, and not a lot of time doing what I loved. And I had a son, and I spent a lot of time commuting to the university and writing grant proposals instead of doing what I loved or spending time with my son, so that sucks. Then I left science, which was really scary. And I had to have some kind of plan when I left, and my husband is a software developer. He's been saying for years, you need to stop complaining and start writing code. Because I'd be like, your job pays so low, and my job pays terribly, and your job like buys you lunch. For my job, if there was a shelf outside the lab where you could leave your coffee cup as you went in, like you were living good life. And he insisted that if I learned to write code, someone would hire me. And I frankly thought he was crazy. But here I was, getting ready to leave science, and I needed something I could tell people because there was absolutely no way I was going to tell them, yeah, I just can't hack it. So I said, I'm going to go learn to be an iOS developer. And originally the plan was that my husband was going to teach me. I wanted to stay married. So he pointed me in the direction of a very good book. It's Objective-C, Aaron Hilligas's book. It's fantastic. And I slugged my way through that during my son's naps. And then I worked through the Stanford iOS course, iOS development course, which was publicly available. And then I said, well, now what? Like, does that count? And my husband said, no, now you need to write a lot of code. Okay, so I wrote a lot of code. I wrote some really bad code. I wrote code on some of his projects. I wrote code on some stuff of my own. And I was kind of going crazy. So I started going to meetups. And I went to the Chicago Cocoa Heads meetup, which is meeting tonight, so I'm assuming none of you are going. And that's, like this, it's a pretty laid back group. A lot of people there have been doing this for a really long time, and a lot of them are very new. And they all go out for a beer afterwards. And so I was hanging there with somebody and talking. He was a biology undergraduate, so we were talking about phosphorylation states, as one does. And then a couple of months later, he emailed the list saying he was looking to hire a junior to mid-level developer. And I said, how junior? He said, well, tell me a story. And so I did. And I went and I interviewed, and I got a job with him. His name's Keith Alperin. He's still at Chicago Chicago, still hiring developers as far as I know. And the rest is sort of history. And so what I want to tell you a little bit about is how that interview went well and how that first day didn't. I think the reason the interview went well is that I wrote a lot of code while I was, learning what to do. But when I was putting together something for the interview, I made sure I had a really solid code sample. It wasn't shipped to the App Store, but it was an app. It did the things I said it was going to do, and it was posted on GitHub. So the first thing I could do when I had to convince him that I had some chops was send him code. Here's code. I'm not making this up. It's code. And in addition to having that code sample, I could talk about anything in that code sample. If he said, why did you use core data? I could talk about that. I could say, well, I could have done this other thing, but I chose to do core data because of this. If he said, what would you do with it next? I had an answer, because it's like, everyone's going to ask that question. So people tell novice developers that you need to have a good code sample, and that's true. But more important, you need to be able to talk about your code sample with someone. And that's a skill you can practice. I did practice with my husband. By this point, our marriage was fine again, so I was willing to do that. But another really great source for people who can talk to you about your code is this room. Anyone here can talk to you about your code. They don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be an expert. It's just practicing thinking about your code sample in that way. I'd also done a lot of kind of surveying of the community. I had listened to podcasts, I had read blog posts, and I knew the names of the people who had written those, and I sort of knew how they related to what I was doing. And so it meant that it's kind of like name dropping, but really what I was saying was, I am paying attention to this field. This is not from a textbook. I think about the things you're thinking about. I talk about the things that you're talking about. And it just gave me a comfort level with him that I could say, well, so-and-so's blog post about this, and he'd nod. I'd be like, okay, we're speaking the same language. So if, like me, you're coming in from outside and you're feeling uncomfortable, one way to get across that kind of obstacle is to seek out that language that your interviewer is probably speaking. Podcasts, blog posts, other videos, so that you have that language. And then the last thing is when he was asking me questions, technical questions, I often did not know. I mean, let's be clear, I really did not know. But I made sure that if I was answering, I don't know, I would say, here's how I'd figure that out. This is where I would start looking. This is how I would think about it, so that it could be a conversation. And because it was a conversation, I got less freaked out. He had more to go on, to pull. And we never had one of those questions that was just like, well, she's clueless. It was always, she knows this thing, let's pull on that. So I got the job, which was super exciting. Day one was not super exciting. I showed up, and Keith had prepared a couple of bugs for me to work on, and I got GitHub access and everything and so on. I had never seen a project that big. I did not know you could have that many files in a project. It was a bad moment, and all of the things that I knew how to do, but I'd only done a couple of times, were the things that I had to do first. And so before I could feel comfortable at all, I had already wiped out on forking a repo. Like, stupid things. I could write Objective-C, but I didn't interact with Git in the same way my boss did. I didn't know how to find things in the file. He would say, go find such and such a file, and I would feel awkward and stupid doing it. And once you start feeling awkward and stupid, oh my God, you become so awkward and stupid. It's amazing. So I took bathroom breaks, and I cried, and that was not so good. But I lived through it, and he kept me on, and I have 1 minute to tell you the 3 or 4 things that would have made that better. I needed to take a notebook. This sounds really obvious, but I do everything on the computer. I didn't think I needed paper, and I needed paper, and I needed a pen, because seriously no tech office ever has pens sitting around, and you will need to write things down because you will be freaked out and you won't remember anything. Take a notebook. I needed to have better experience with Git. When you're learning to be a developer, you spend a lot of time on your domain language, but you need to know Git. This is how teams work. You will be hired to work on a team. Spend some time getting to know Git. Someone's going to tell you later why you should use a command line. I totally endorse that, but probably not your first day. This is a screenshot from SourceTree, which is a free GUI that you can use to help you interact with Git. I use Tower. You can ask the person who hires you, by the way, what tool do you use for Git? And if they say command line, fine. But if they say, oh, we all use Tower, invest, learn that tool, because you're going to be using it a lot, especially the first day. Look at my beautiful image. You should have some recent setup experience. We rarely set up projects, but it's the thing you're going to be doing on your first day. And as I said, when you get awkward and stupid right at the beginning, it kind of lasts. So before you go in for your first day, spend some time setting up new projects. They can be projects that you pull down from open source. That is a great source of things that you need to fork, clone, and find your way around, because that's a skill. Lastly, make sure that you have your password manager and two-factor authentication set up on your phone. You've only been developing on your computer. You will go and you will be using their computer. You will be inundated with passwords and logins and directions for how to get to stuff. You will instantly forget it all, and then you will feel like a complete moron for the rest of the week. So, take a notebook. Make sure you know what you're doing with Git. Make sure you know what you're doing with your setup. Make sure you can find your passwords. And then, with any luck, you will not end up crying in the bathroom. If you do end up crying in the bathroom, you should know that many of the developers you're working with also had first days that were, shall we say, rocky. When my boss found out some years later that I had actually cried in the bathroom my first day, he felt terrible. He's like, why didn't you tell me? And I said, well, I couldn't tell you. You would have fired me. He's like, no, I just hired you. So we've all been there. It's okay.